Hi there, and welcome back to the Caffeinated Classroom. If this is your first time here, my name is Marie, and I'm a high school English teacher in San Diego, California. And I am very happy to be back in my classroom and vlogging again in my classroom. Followers of this channel or subscribers who have been here for a while, you know that I have taken a bit of a hiatus the last couple years. Educators, right? We know, well, the world knows, have been pretty rough. And education has not been immune to that, and so things like this channel have taken a little bit of a back seat. But I have a couple of things that I just am itching to share. The first is a lesson that I have been teaching. Actually, maybe that'll be the second one, because the first thing I should show you is what you've been asking for. I've had many subscribers, multiple people on DMs on Instagram asking for a classroom tour. I'm not gonna lie to you, I was like, I cannot give a classroom tour at the state of my classroom right now. And then I stopped myself and I said, why not? Why can't I show everyone that even though I post things on social media, my classroom still looks just like yours. It still has all of the lovely little things that happen in a classroom, just like everybody else. So with all the good, bad, and the ugly, and I know that my classroom is not like everybody's, I know that I put in the extra mile because that is something that brings me joy and happiness, and it is not expected of anybody else out there. But it's a freaking mess. The floor is gross, and I'm not going to pull any punches. Let's take a look, shall we? Okay, so I was gonna start right by the front door, but there's a group of kids that are slowly meandering by, just watching me make this video. So I thought I would tell you also, after the tour, which is gonna be kind of brief because not a whole ton has changed in here since the last, well, actually maybe it has. I feel like the last tour I did was in 2018 or 2019, and it is now 2022. So I might need to take back that statement I just made. Okay, the children are walking away. It's after school, so they're all kind of loitering, you know, as teenagers are wont to do. They're just loitering. I'm gonna show you around the classroom, and then I have an activity that I used this week to start off a memoir unit that I am teaching using the all-class text Born a Crime by Trevor Noah, his memoir about growing up in South Africa. And we did an activity to introduce the memoir genre in general, and I have a lot to tell you about actually a workshop that Amanda, my other half of my team from Brave New Teaching, the podcast and just host of different PD opportunities that I offer through my other brand. I have a really cool activity that I'm excited to show you, and you can totally get your hands on it, or you can just recreate it for yourself, do something similar in your classroom. It's a really cool idea, a way to build really organic and fast community, or just kind of break the ice in a way that doesn't feel synthetic. Okay, the kids are gone. So now let's look at the classroom, and then we'll talk about the. So when you walk in the door, here's the door, you first see this wall right over here. And I had intended this wall originally, and I've had different iterations of it to be an announcement wall, a posting wall. It always became so cluttered with stuff that now just having decor up, and I change out sometimes. I'll have different sort of school spirit posters, but right now this is what it's been. The biggest use is the mirror. Look, here we are. Teenagers. I teach teenagers. They like the mirror, and I like the mirror. Let's be honest with ourselves. Another thing that I've done is this little guy. I used to roll it outside the door and have it be there for people that needed it, etc. I might start doing that again, but right now it's just a good spot for the hall pass, for some wipes if we need them, for hand sanitizer, and for tampons and other period supplies. There are Band-Aids in there. There's just first aid, a box full of masks, anything that kids might need. There used to be Kleenex, but what do you know? It's public high school and the Kleenex is gone. If you were following me on Instagram earlier this school year, it's almost October, but August and September, we were having a insane heat wave in San Diego, and we had to get portable units brought into our classrooms because our entire school shut down, and it was 98 degrees. I'm not exaggerating in my room. Let's do a quick overview. As you can see, my seating has stayed pretty flexible. It's not as flexible as it once was. When I first set up this specific room, there was a couch, there was a lot of different things, and I've backtracked a bit and made it more table ready, but there are options. Sometimes students will, well, I'll tell you about it in a second, but I've got, let's see, how many do I have? I have 9 tables, including the little 4 tops here. And then I have a space down in the middle where 3 to 4 students will sit. I've got 3 actual chairs, and then I've got some floor pillows. We'll talk about that pile of goodies in a moment. And I normally keep it 4 to a table as best as I can. So like if you're thinking and doing the math right now, yes, I have classes of like 38 to 42 depending on the term. This is an addition that I brought in last year. I had these cabinets, they're all just those, you know, they're metal. This is contact paper cabinets that are storage cabinets from my school. I had them as like a long bar at one point in time that kind of like took up too much space in the room. I clumped them all together and students find it easier to either sit here or stand. A lot of them, it's like the perfect height for them to stand. And so if they need a break from sitting at a table, they can come over here, or some kids just choose to sit here every single day. We'll talk about seating chart in a moment. Okay, we came in through the door, we walk all the way across back over here. I've got my library of Lit Circle books, or like book club books that I use regularly. I have no idea what that's about. Somebody pooped out papers down there, got nothing for you. So I have some of that stuff up over here, a little bit of decor, and I'm gonna slowly turn so that you don't lose your lunch. I normally would use these whiteboards quite a bit more, but for some reason, the way that this year is going, I am only using them for look, Tuesday, 9/20, and that one's from last Friday. So you can see that I'm using them really, really religiously for daily agendas. No, I've been using slides for the agenda, and I keep forgetting to update what's up and over there. As we come around the room, I had to do a lot of figuring out how to place all of these tables to make sure that there's still like movable space, because the difference between having enough space to move about the room when you're teaching freshmen or sophomores versus juniors and seniors, and I've had juniors and seniors for the last couple years, it's a big difference. So they're bigger, they're just bigger. This is my extremely messy area. That's my little space. Up there you can see a few students have asked if they can use the whiteboard as their locker, and I've said sure, just for this class, because they think that they're gonna lose the paper, and I believe them. I believe that they will lose the paper. Right now you can see the state of affairs. Listen, I would love to be like, I'm gonna get this all cleaned up. I'm gonna get all of this cleaned up before I leave today. I'm not. That would be a lie. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not gonna get this cleaned up. I'm gonna close the computer. I'm gonna shut down the desktop. I'm gonna grab probably this book, because I wanna make sure that I have freshly reread for the 9 millionth time the chapters that students are reading tonight. I'm gonna look them over again. I'll probably grab my planning planner, like my teacher planner, to just, you know, take it on a field trip home and bring it back. I'm not gonna clean this up today because half the stack is grading I need to do tomorrow. The other stack is stuff that I need for kids who are absent and I need to be able to give it to them. And then the other stuff is just things I am not ready to go through yet. So I'm not going to. And guess what? That's okay. Like, that's it. I'll show you more of just like what I've got going on over here. I've got one thing I added over here, and I will eventually clean all of that up. Down there, it's just a whole bunch of stuff I need to deal with, but like, the school year started and I didn't have time, and that's real life. And like, I'm cutting it, I'm like down to the wire. I need to go get my kids in a minute here. So you might see me explaining the activity in a new outfit tomorrow. I might have to be telling you about the activity, and I'm gonna finish up the tour, and then I'm gonna go get my kids, and I'll be back tomorrow to finish this video. But that stuff down there, it does not matter. It does not make me a better or a worse teacher if it's cleaned up or if it's dirty like that, and that's okay. This hamper is my hamper from home. I brought things to school in it. I brought the pillow covers and the blankets that I had taken home, because you never know with the temperature in here. It's either hot or frigid. There's like no middle. So I have like throw pillows with covers. I'd taken stuff home to clean it, brought it back in my hamper, and now my hamper is holding on to student work that they're gonna need at a summative. So it's like group activities, and that's okay. Okay, we're moving through a close read that's up on the board. Let's take a tour through my piles of crap. Here's my next pile of crap right here. Over here, you can see two industrial and 1 box fan, like big fans, because the air conditioning was so bad and like kids were passing out. I would go home and like be sick from having a migraine all day long from the extreme heat in our classrooms, and because it was a whole heat wave in Southern California, we had nowhere to go. So it was just hot all day. So the district bought us fans. I don't want to put them anywhere central because then they'll disappear. you know, if you know, you know. So they're staying here for the foreseeable future. I have boxes of senior shirts because I'm the senior class advisor, and we're down to like measly sizes, but I'm the place they come to buy them. They're here on the floor. I actually don't know what that other box is. Like, I don't know what that one is. It was probably shirts, and I think it's empty now. Yeah. This is how teenagers put away the blankets and pillows that I let them use during class when they are reading or writing or just like kind of need something. And that's okay. I should probably address the power strip that's on top of the blanket. I'm gonna take care of that before we go. And then back over here, I've just got like books. This whole side of the room has really got like things that I'm going to make a little bit more deliberately decor, but right now like kids have started to fill, that's a little like origami note. Kids have started to fill some of these cute little frames that I have on the wall, and we are back where we began. This is my little rainbow library. Some of the things that are in this room that really reflect me as a teacher are that I want it to feel homey, and it's also realistic, right? Like, students need to have a sense of ownership in this room. Up here, I'm back at the front of my room. There's like this table that goes right underneath the screen, and there are drawers and a little rolly cart that I had at like an old apartment, and then like it's been in multiple different places that has like extra pencils and paper and things that I will generally stock at the beginning of the year and then just ask for donations to have them come in so that students know that things are here if they need them. The seating is pretty flexible. Oh, I told you I would tell you about seating chart. We are now at a point in the year where behavior is being, behavior is making me is begetting a seating chart. So if you saw as I was walking around, there are little like pink post-its on some of the tables. That's because my smaller class got their seating chart today and we didn't take up all the tables. My other classes are gonna get their seating chart tomorrow on different colored post-its, and until they learn where they go, that's where the post-its will be. Yeah, it's pretty informal for the most part, a lot of what I do in here, but with pretty strong boundaries. And I talk a lot more about that in other videos, but especially on some episodes of the Brave New Teaching podcast, which I will link down below this video. I need to go get my babies. I will be back tomorrow. Hello again. It is now Thursday. You are seeing me. As you can see, it's the end of the day. One of my braids has made it better than the other one, but that's not really saying much. It's just been a long day, a lot of up and down, a lot of helping kids with timed writing that a couple of my classes were doing. Yes, but I do have, I'm gonna quickly go over this because again, it's the end of the day and I need to go get my kiddos. But you know when you have an activity, like a lesson activity that then, you know it's gonna go well. Like you know kids are gonna enjoy it, but like you don't quite realize just how well it's going to go. This was like one of my favorite moments that we've had so far this year was doing this activity. So I think I already said earlier in this video, but it's been a whole day since I filmed that part, so heaven forbid my brain remember, that this activity I'm going to tell you is called My 73, and it is a part of a teaching biography and memoir workshop that we, like the Brave New Teaching team, yes I know I said this yesterday, are putting together, and it starts very, very soon. If you're watching this the day that the video comes out, we are starting next week. You can register. If you're watching this later on, you can still get your hands on all of these materials, but this has to do with that workshop. So check out the box down below and I'll link to where you can find out more information and get yourself registered if you would like to take the workshop. It's a lot of resources and trainings and other sort of things. I think my camera's too low because I'm like leaning way down. Let's just lower my chair. There, it's a little better. So this activity is to get students introduced to the genre of memoir. That's how I used it, but honestly, you can use this activity a lot of different ways, such as just growing some community organically, because I'm allergic to traditional icebreakers. I don't know about you, I hate them. This is that same sort of the intention of an icebreaker is to break the ice and start to build community and like make things a little bit more comfortable, right? So you can have conversation and so people feel a little bit less on edge in a large group setting or small group setting, whatever. This does so in a much more authentic way that doesn't feel so annoying like a traditional icebreaker. So basically, the idea of 73 comes from Vogue magazine's 73 Questions series. They do, I'm sure you have seen it come up on your social media feeds, on your YouTube feed, like 73 questions with Adele, 73 questions with Jennifer Lawrence, 73 questions with whoever. They've got like 3 different seasons of them. If you go to just like Google Vogue 73 questions, you'll find the website that has a bunch of videos. So what I did is I had students go to that website. I linked it for them. I had a bunch of information for them to do, but essentially they chose a video that they were going to watch, any of them. I said at your own discretion because I cannot guarantee the language appropriateness. And they just watched one of the videos. And then we did a little bit of conversation and like reflecting what was confirmed that you had assumed about this person, what was maybe new information you learned about this person, why is it important, basically like getting the conversation out. Why should you look past your like previously conceived notions and assumptions of somebody? Then students got into pairs. I put them into random pairs so that they would be sitting with somebody most likely that they don't always sit with and somebody that they don't always talk to, and each person got this sheet which says my 73 questions by category. There are 73 questions on this sucker that they get the opportunity to ask each other. Some groups got all the way through asking each other all 73 questions, some didn't. It starts with 3 questions that everybody asks. What is your name? What is your age? What is your astrological sign? And then from there, they took turns. So if I am partner A and I have partner B, partner A is going to be the interviewer, the asker first, and partner B is just going to answer the questions as they come. And then they switch. So I think I set a timer for like 7 minutes for each round. And all you do is ask questions, and then all you do is answer questions, and then vice versa. And I told them that they could ask the questions in literally any order they wanted to. So some of the questions are things like, what is the best retro show to watch? What is your favorite color, season, sound? Which is worse, spiders or flying insects? Like, we have some very low stakes questions. What's the first meal you learned to make or cook? So many kids said cereal, and it was the most hilarious thing. Or like Pop-Tarts. Kid was like, I can cook Pop-Tarts. And we were like, oh, that's cute. Words on a page or audiobook. Such low stakes questions, but what I didn't expect was so much giggling. They just had, it was delightful to hear how much fun they were having with this like partner that they were sitting with. It was awkward at first because they were like, oh, you're making me talk to somebody I don't normally talk to. I'm a teenager and I'm awkward, and this is what my hands look like, Barbie hands. But then they like opened up very quickly and I said, how was that? And they said, so fun. So fun. And I was like, good. And then like to further the activity, they could have just stopped there. Like I very well could have stopped there. But to further the activity, they got this little sketch notes, very simple template. Again, this is all like part of our workshop, but I'm just kind of explaining it to you in case you want to bring this into your classroom in some way. If you want to join the workshop, please do so. You'll have it all. But it works in so many different ways. It says my 73, and I had them fill in the my and the 73 with some sketch note style collaging where I just hit myself in the face, where they had to pick some colors, words, and images that illustrated or represented the information, like the different questions that they had answered. And there's some really cool collages. I haven't collected them yet because I'm giving them some time to just kind of like, generally like 90% of kids really wanted to work on it. They wanted to take pride and ownership in it. And so like, I'm not gonna say no. But this led us into our memoir unit that we have started this week using Trevor Noah's Born a Crime, which is another part of the same workshop. I'm gonna be talking about that for a while because I'm really pumped about this unit, but I'm doing a whole full unit walkthrough as one of the modules of this workshop because it's focused in on personal narrative writing and different narrative writing strategies. We are looking specifically at writing personal narratives using anecdote, using humor, and using like specific perspective. And this week we looked at anecdote, and so that's one of the like strategies that I'm really honing in on one of the modules at the Biography and Memoir Workshop by Brave New Teaching. So, this introduced the whole thing. It was our little gateway. It was very, very fun. I am going to be making some TikToks and Reels about it because I was just delighted to see the kids like laughing and giggling and having fun since we've had such a rough start to the year. It was really, really fun. I am getting text messages from my mom, which means I need to go get my kids. But it is good to be back. I will probably keep saying that because who knows, I'm gonna try and keep doing this every couple of weeks, but it is really hard. Like the struggle is real, and hopefully this at least provided a little bit of value for you. I hope that class is going well for all of you out there and that you're having a good school year so far. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.